We will get underway now with the race briefing for the athletes doing the 3rd annual Aquabike. Great to have everybody along. It's a wonderful initiative, and it's great to see that this side of the sport is growing. And certainly we just want to make sure over the next half an hour or so we just take out some of the guesswork for you. Please just leave your questions to the end. The individual event directors, the individual technical side of the sport will be here to answer any questions afterwards. So I'll just get Bill Roxburgh, who oversees this entire operation, to come up and just say a few words, give you a bit of an overview in regards to the weather conditions and temperature. Bill.
Thanks very much, everybody. We're a small crew here, which is quite nice, so I hope everybody can hear. A big welcome to the Integrity Homes Challenge Wanaka Festival of Triathlon, and it's great to see you here competing in the Aquabike. It's called the Garth Barfoot Aquabike now. We're very appreciative of all the work Garth's done over many years, supporting this event, giving us the funding to be able to give travel prizes to the World Champs as well. So this is also a selection event, secondary selection event to those World Champs. So if you've got any questions, Claire Bed from TriNZ is here, can answer any queries that you might have around those selections. So I'd like to say the weather is looking very favourable for you tomorrow. Very similar to today, but could get a bit hotter in the day with a bit more wind. So hope you all have a great day out there. This year, our gift has been the coffee cups. As you'll find when you go around Wanaka, you're unable to get takeaway coffee cups anywhere. So we've got these for you. And when you pick up your finisher shirt tomorrow, we'll also give you a special Asia Pacific gift, which is going to be a pair of compression socks. So hope you get plenty of wear out of those. One of our trustees mentioned it's the best new bit of equipment that he's got, so yeah, hope you all enjoy it. So. Also, we'll have medals this year, similar to this. They've got the magnet on the back, so you put them on the fridge to remind you of the event, and maybe you might want to go and do another Challenge Family event around the world. So the Asia Pacific region has got many fine races now, and the Taiwan team that have over 4,000 in their event are in the merchandise tent if you'd like to know more about any of the Challenge Family races in Asia Pacific. So anyway, that's enough from me. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow at the prize giving at 3:30, and hope you have a great day. So thank you.
Well, all right, we'll just get Sally to come up and have a chat just in regards to, again, just a bit of an overview of the race, the contingency plan if the weather does turn, and anti-doping. Okay, so really targeted more at the Australians.
So just a quick race overview for tomorrow. The race manual contains all the information you need for your race. The league directors will highlight some important points and hazards shortly. Please make sure that both your bike and your helmet have been checked by Races Edge before you bring them into transition this afternoon. We recommend racking your bikes by the handlebars overnight just in case that wind does pick up, and then tomorrow morning you can flip them around so they're hanging off the bike racks by the seat. Transition opens at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and all bikes must be racked by 6:30 PM. There's no exceptions. All recovery, which is your green gear bags, must be handed in either prior to 6:30 PM tonight or tomorrow morning between 5:30 and 7:30 AM. These bags will contain any clothing or food that you want immediately after your race. Would recommend not overinflating your tyres tonight, in case they do go pop. We'll let you know if we do hear any. Please make sure you're familiar with how to exit and enter transition. There is a map on the layout on the notice board over in the corner there, as well as transition being well marshalled tomorrow. There's no body numbering. Please make sure before you line up on the start line, or the deep water start line tomorrow, that you have crossed the timing mats on the beach. Failure to do so will result in disqualification, and you won't be registered in our timing system. At the completion of the swim, there's an approximate 200 metre run up and over the footbridge to the bike transition area. There's no change tent this year, so you'll need to change at your bike. TriNZ will cover what changing means at your bike shortly. Just make sure that you only peel your wetsuit down to your waist before you come into transition, and you'll leave your goggles, swim cap and wetsuit underneath your bike rack so it's not in the way of other competitors. Ken will cover the race rules. Challenge Wanaka is strictly non-drafting though, and we have asked Franzi to take a hard line on this. Your finish time will be when you dismount your bike out on the road. You can then walk around at your leisure to get officially announced at the finish line and receive your finisher's medal. Challenge is a family-friendly event, and we know how important it is to share your success with your family at the finish line. With competitors crossing that finish line roughly every 15 seconds, we ask that any photos are taken quickly and then you move out of the way to let the next competitor through. Your friends and family can track your progress tomorrow out on the course, so make sure they've downloaded the challenge app and follow you there if they can't be in Wanaka tomorrow. Contingency, if we have to make a decision on the contingency course, that will be made by 6 AM tomorrow morning, and the alternate swim course is on the marina side of the lake. Just quickly on anti-doping, Challenge family operates a zero tolerance policy to performance enhancing drugs. No athlete may use any substances or procedures with the intention of improving their performance, eliminate fatigue or any other purpose. Violation of this rule will result in instant disqualification. Challenge Wanaka is working with Drug Free Sport NZ to ensure this policy is upheld and to maintain the integrity of our sport. Random drug tests will be made at the end of the race. If you are requested to undergo one of these tests, your participation in our event is your agreement to do so. I'll now ask Mark to introduce the lead directors.
Okay, we'll bring up Chris, who's done a remarkable job in terms of laying this course. Just see if you go down and have a look at the moment, the marker buoys and stuff, pretty straight. It's fantastic in terms of being able to sight and get your way around the course. So Chris Thornton is the man in charge of the swim, so we'll welcome Chris up.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Challenge Wanaka, the Aquabike course brief. My kids have lent me their crayons, so I have drawn you a little map here. If you can't see it, then please come up and have a look over here in a little bit. There's a few things just to cover. The water temperature is around 17 degrees, so it's pretty nice actually to get out there. The conditions tomorrow look like they're going to be relatively calm, so we're expecting a flat lake, so it makes it really nice racing. Now, we've got quite a few volunteers out there, about 30 or so kayakers and a swagger of powerboats and jet skis. They'll all be briefed to stay, or the powerboats will be briefed to stay a little bit away because of the fumes and other bits and pieces. The kayakers will be quite close. So some of them have got mixed experience, so we'll just have to give and take there. If you do need some assistance along the way, then please give them as much warning as you practically can at the time, putting your hand up, giving them a bit of a wave, making some noise, yell out. You can grab onto a vessel, no worries at all. If you need to take a break, it's all good. You just can't move forwards. If you do climb out of the water, that's a no-no as well. So grab on, hold on, have a chat if you need to, and then carry on your way, and that's not a problem. Now, just to go through, it's a beach start. It's a 3-kilometre course. So you're swimming out the normal course you can see from the start there, right up to the point. Then it's a really sharp corner, turning right round, and the boys that are right there right now, they have been for the last few days, going through the centre of the course. The boys from the start to the second, they're about 50 metres apart. The boys that go between the top down to the middle, they're about 75 metres apart. So there's a difference there. If you have been for a swim whilst we've been here for the last couple of days, you may have seen a green marker. That's the turn buoy for the Aquabike course. Tomorrow there'll be a huge big Challenge Wanaka red marker there instead of that green marker right in the middle. Okay, so the thing to be watching out for tomorrow is that these two markers for the Challenge Wanaka half will still be there because there'll still be some of the slower swimmers that'll be going around those markers there. So it's just something to be aware of when you're sighting, to watch out that you're looking for the one in the middle, and you'll see it tomorrow, and you're not going for these ones on the outside. Now it's a 2-lap course, and then you're back into the finish. This bottom one, right down here, so you've got to keep the big red buoys on your left-hand side, your left-hand shoulder as you're going around. However, once you've come around the last one on your way in, then that last marker, really close in, you need to pass on your right shoulder. Okay, so you need to go around that, and you have to go around each one of those. Now, if you find yourself inside the small pink buoys, it's not a problem. We prefer you to stay on the outside. All it means is you're swimming a bit further. However, the pink buoys have just got a line, a rope going straight down. There's no ropes throughout the course, so you don't need to worry about going across rope lines at all. Cool. Please stay out of the water before 6:30. We'll have lots of power boats coming and going, so if you're thinking about warming up early, make sure you stay out of the water until that time, and then we can start seeing again, so we don't want any interactions before that. When you do come out with all your wet gear, there's a wash, clean, dry station at the transitions. Please make sure you clean your gear really, really well, so you're not taking any of the noxious weeds from Wanaka and taking them to other waterways around New Zealand or anywhere else. You'll also see, whilst you're out there, the start line in dual image, a big white powerboat with lots of VIPs and people watching and cheering as you're going past, hopefully. So just watch out for that. That'll be helping you at the very start create a bit of a start line as you're going through past Market Buoy 1. Great, I think that's the majority of it. If you've got any individual questions, then please come over and have a chat if you've got any things about the course or any safety. But otherwise, just have a great race out there. If you do need some help, there's a lot of us out there to help. Put your hand up and we'll come over and sort you out. Thank you.
Okay, let's talk about the bike. Right, so we'll bring up Mel to have a chat about that. A couple of subtle little changes I understand on the course this year than what we've seen in previous years. For those familiar with it, Mel.
Okay, so Aquabike course, 120 kilometres of course. You have 4 aid stations on your course tomorrow, and the last 2 of those aid stations will have Coke available if you desire it. It'll obviously just be a small bit, because I'm sure you don't want to drink 750 mils of Coke when you're out there. There's portaloos at every aid station. Please don't go anywhere else. Your race number must be on your helmet, bike and torso for the Aquabike. When you turn off at Sandy Point, so you will follow the red and white K markers, but once you have turned down Sandy Point to do the additional 30 kilometres for the Aquabike, your numbers will turn green. So from that point, take note of the green kilometre markers. We've got bike mechanics roaming on the bike course. Obviously, you know, Murphy's Law, they may not be there when you need them, but they are out and about. If they do give you any equipment, you are required to pay for that equipment the following day at Race's Edge. They will have your race number to make sure that you come and do that. Roads are open. Okay, we've got tourists. It's obviously a beautiful area, so we have tourists here. We endeavour to keep traffic at a minimum, but always be aware that there could be someone that's literally arrived in town and has got no idea that there's an event on. So always have your wits about you. Your first section going out to Hospital Flat and back, that has your first aid station, but it is on your return at an approximately 32 kilometre mark. When you come back into town, we have our new section, so you will come past race headquarters, and then you will veer left at the roundabout to Lakeside Road. This veers round onto Beacon Point Road and then turning right onto Albury Road. Again, well and truly marked, and we will have marshals out there, but I do need to remind you it is your responsibility to know where the course goes. Once you're back onto the State Highway again, you will come to what we refer to as the Albert Town Bridge. At this bridge, you will be going up onto the footpath section. It's just been carpeted, and then this evening I will be sweeping the gravel off the entry and exit points of that bridge. It's a 60-metre section. It's a no passing zone. Don't blow your race by trying to be gaining a millisecond going across there. Take your time. You'll see the no passing zone. Go across the bridge. As soon as you're off the bridge, you'll see no passing zone is finished, and then away you go. When you get to Hawea Dam, if we have winds, it could be strong, and obviously depending on what direction they go at. We have had instances where you turn right there and all of a sudden you're exposed and you're hit by a gust of wind. So again, depending on what the weather's doing, just be cautious. Your next aid station is outside the Hawea store, and so of course they will be there. You won't miss the aid stations. Each aid station has a drop zone start and a drop zone ends. I've tried to be as generous as I can with these. These are the only sections where you can discard, so please obey that rule. When you come just prior to the red bridge, you will start to see alternating signs on the left-hand side that will say Aquabike left, half straight ahead. Aquabike left, half straight again. Again, your signs are green, so please remember to go left there, otherwise you are only going to be doing 91.5 Ks, and that's not going to get you a verified finish time. You will have an aid station out there that is approximately 8 kilometres from that turn. Depending on our volunteers, you will definitely have that aid station on your way out to the U-turn. If we have enough volunteers, we will also endeavour to have that aid station on your return as well, so that we can try and capture you to get anything that you need. There is a timing mat out at the U-turn, so no shortcuts, sorry, you are doing 120 kilometres. When you come to the entrance of Red Bridge, I apologise, I forgot to mention that that intersection where you turn left is a no passing zone, because as you can imagine, I have aquabikers turning left and coming back onto that road, and we have our half cyclists going straight ahead. So just that intersection is a no passing zone, and also the Red Bridge is a no passing zone. Red Bridge obviously has bolts like goodness knows what on them, and I have tomorrow morning a big black rubber mat is laid onto that red bridge down the centre. It is no passing, you are single file. Legal speed limit, 30 kilometres an hour. You need to be following the legal speed limit. So again, incredibly short section of your race. Take your time, it's not a bad view. Get across, no passing zone finishes, and away you go. The next then you'll come up past Airport Hill, and you will turn left into Mount Barker Road, and along Mount Barker Road is your last aid station, and we will have everyone there. That's at a business called Crossfire. This Mount Barker Road has only been sealed for approximately 12 to 18 months. It is a narrow country road, but we also have to remember we've got to allow residents on that road. So please again be cautious of traffic. There is no visible painted white line, but at all times we are keeping to the left of the virtual white line on these roads. Also, if you are managing to pick up some speed along there as you first enter that road, it is really, really bumpy, and just really take care that you've got control of your bike going along there. At the end of Mount Barker Road, again, another very sharp 90-degree turn. There will be a cone there. Do not cut that corner because it is a disqualifiable offence, so take care and just slow down. As you come back into town, you are coming straight down Meadowstone Road. It's an amazing smooth surface after the roads that you've been out there on. But we also just need to be, again, just an awareness that we've got multiple intersections crossing across McDougall Street. We have volunteers, we have traffic management out there, but just have your wits about you for anyone that decides that they can beat you across the intersection. The issue we have is cars don't realise how fast you guys go, and they think they can make it. So we're going to endeavour to keep a clear way for you, but please just have your eyes and ears around you of what's happening, and then you'll come in. Your finish time will finish at the dismount line, but we still do require you to come in, rack your bike, and come across the finish line. So you guys should have the best finishes photos of all time, because you can clear the muck off, you can look good, and go and have that finish time. So for the Aquabike, because it is designed for people who don't run, your finish time finishes when you cross that dismount line, but we still require you to go across the finish line as such. Like I said, no discarding apart from aid stations. Toilets are at the aid stations. Take care out there and look after each other and look out for traffic and obey the road rules and be safe. Thank you.
Well, now sanctioned by Triathlon New Zealand, of course, and we just want to make sure it is a fair race out there, also a safe race. So we will bring up Ken O'Rourke, part of the technical delegate, to just go through what their expectation is and what the rules are out on the course.
Thanks, Mark, and welcome everybody. This race, as you may know, is a secondary qualifying race for the World Champs Aquabike, so it's being run under Tri New Zealand rules. And our team, I'm the race referee, head referee. Our technical delegate, Juliet Fahey's only just arrived due to sickness in the family, so I'm up here talking to you instead of Juliet. So what I'm just going to run you through is to some of the rules. So the reason we have rules, so it's fair for everybody, and so it's safe. That's really what it's about. But we've got a team of our guys, about 15 to 16 of us, to help you with all of that. So just working through a couple of things. Swim. We'll have 3 of our guys out on the water to help keep an eye on you guys with all the rest of the team. You're not allowed to wear fingered gloves. You can't be Aquaman, sorry, that's not allowed. You can't wear booties or socks because that's unfair on the guy or the girl next to you that hasn't got them. So that's not allowed on swim. And make sure, of course, you've got your correct coloured swim cap. The water temperature. So officially, there'll be an announcement made 1 hour before you start as to what the official water temperature is. If it's 16 or under, wetsuits are mandatory. If it's over that, they're optional. But I really don't know. I would have thought you'd want to wear a wetsuit. It's a good idea in a lake, I would have thought. But that's just me. Right. Then obviously when you come out of the swim into transition, there's no change tent this year. Those of you who've been before, you can get changed next to your bike, but no nudity is allowed in transition. If there's any spotted, and some of my officials actually might like spotting it, but that's another story, you would be disqualified. So no nudity in transition. And soon as possible, especially men have come out of the water, bare torsos, they must be covered up as soon as possible, and particularly when you get on the bike. There will be the old rule with helmets, right? I'm sure you guys all know this. Got to clip your helmet before you unrack your bike. If you haven't, you're spotted, you'll be told to stop, fix it up, and then you're allowed to go. So you get held up for that. So make sure those helmets are done up before you unrack the bike. On the bike, drafting. Drafting rules apply. 10 metres from the front wheel of the person in front of you. And we'll have our TOs, we'll have up to 6 motorbikes out on the course. Keep an eye on that. So it's fair for everybody. That's really what it's about. We don't want someone to have advantage of sucking on someone's back wheel when someone else has done all the training and is sticking to the rules. So the rules are 10 metres back and a 3 metre wide zone. That's the drafting zone from the front wheel. So if you're coming through, in case you didn't already know this, if you're coming through to overtake, once you get past, your axle goes past that person's front axle, they've got to get out of there. They've got to get back 10 metres. They've got to drop back. And this is what our technical officials on motorbikes will be looking out for, to make sure that's all being done fairly. No blocking, so if someone decides to come through and get in your way, they'll get pinged for that, and you can't overtake on the left side of somebody. So all of those things we'll be keeping an eye on, and to make sure everyone has the same race and it's all fair. The centre line on the bike is sacrosanct. Mel might have mentioned this already. Don't cross it. If you cross it and you're spotted, you'll be disqualified. Simple as that. You can finish the race, but you won't get a race time or anything like that. If it's an emergency, someone crashes in front of you, you've got no choice but to go across the centre line. That's different. We have leniency around those sorts of things. But if it's intentional, we just deem it's intentional. That ends in disqualification. And the way that it happened, motorbike will pull up next to you, TO will blow a whistle, hold up a blue card, call out your number and tell you to stop on the side of the road as soon as it's safe. Then you've got to get off your bike, 2 feet on the side of the road next to your bike, and that's when the penalty starts. If you decide to argue the point, the penalty won't start until you stop arguing. So that's really not going to help you. And then you'll serve your 3-minute penalty and off you go. If you get caught twice, then that's getting serious. That's getting into disqualification territory. When you come back off the bike, as Mel said, your official time finishes when you cross the last timing mat, and then you run to the finish line and get all the accolades and get your medal, those sorts of things. So wreck your bike, run to the finish line. So that's the best way for that, so you get to celebrate what you've done. Can't have any outside assistance. So if you've got someone who's following in a car, sorry, that's not allowed. We don't want extra cars on the course. We don't mind if someone's sitting on the roundabout calling out your splits and that's all they're going to do for the rest of the day, that's fine. We don't want people leapfrogging and calling out splits and doing coaching. That's outside assistance. If we spot that, you get warned. If you decide you want to keep doing it, you can be disqualified because you didn't heed the warning. So it just safety keeps the extra cars off the road, and it's unfair on someone else who hasn't got a coach. So that's why we have that rule. And no, obviously no pacing and anything like that. It's all down to, it's an individual sport. That's just about it really. Always keep left on the road, even if there's no centre line. It's a virtual centre line from our perspective. So don't think, oh, there's nothing here, oh, I'll just cut that corner. That's crossing the centre line. Mel's talked about a couple of sharp corners. Don't be tempted. If someone spots you, you're disqualified. That's ruined your race, wasted all your money and all your training because you got disqualified. So don't be tempted. Go if there's a cone, go round it. Don't cross onto the other side of the road unless it's an absolute emergency. So that just about covers everything from my perspective. There will be a dismount line. For those who don't know what that is, run out of transition with your bike. You'll see our two people with their red flags in the line, go over the line and then get on your bike. When you come back, it's a reverse. Get off your bike before the line. They'll be there waving flags and calling out to you and stuff. If you decide to do other, you can get penalised for that. Waste of time getting penalised. So it's all little rules that just help to make it fair and safe for everybody. So that's really what it's all about. So have a fantastic race. If you want to ask any questions, Juliet and I'll be over here afterwards. Hope it's a great race for all. And it looks like another perfect day in paradise. All the best. Thank you.
Okay, we won't keep you much longer. We'll just bring Sally back up just to again just run through just a little bit more information regarding transition, race numbers, gear collection, and just the race manual. And there'll also be a transition walkthrough shortly if you do just want to go and have a wee look, so there's no confusion when you do come off your bike.
Thanks, Mark. So aid stations tomorrow. Our nutrition sponsor this year is once again Pure Sports Nutrition. If you're not familiar with them, please make sure you read the information either in your race pack or come along to their seminar here in the main market at 3 o'clock this afternoon. There are 4 aid stations out on the bike course. Full details on the locations and what's available at each aid station is in your race manual. There's no special needs station tomorrow. It's been mentioned, but please don't discard any rubbish or drink bottles outside of the immediate drop zones at each aid station. There's no outside assistance allowed on the course tomorrow, and we have over 500 amazing volunteers out there helping you with your race from start to finish, and we want it to be a fun day for them as well, so please be courteous, even if it means that you miss that drink bottle on the bike. They're still out there trying their best. Race numbers, please make sure you wear these correctly and don't alter them. Full information is in your race manual on where to put your race numbers. Gear collection after your race, so transition area won't reopen until 3 o'clock tomorrow for your bike and any gear that's beside your bike. Only athletes can access the transition area from the gate behind the tent, which is over in this corner. And there's no access through the tent or around the front, as we may still have athletes out on the course. Only athletes may pick up their gear, so make sure you've got your wristband, which will be checked against your bike, and your helmet number. If you've got no number, you won't be able to get your bike. Prize giving is at the finish area from 4:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and we'll have music and food trucks on site until about 6 p.m. And for those of you that wish to continue on into the night, the wrap party will take place at Post Office Lane from 6:30 p.m. onwards. The ITU Multisport World Champs Festival. So the Garth Barfoot Aquabike tomorrow is a secondary selection event for the World Champs in Almere. Garth Barfoot has donated generous travel assistance to these championships. Travel assistance information and the age group selection policy can be found on the TriNZ website. If you've got any questions, obviously the league directors are still hanging around so they can answer them. I'm going to head out into transition for any of you that have got any questions around the flow of transition. Otherwise, I'm back again from 3 o'clock this afternoon until transition closes at 6:30 when you rack your bikes. I hope you all have a great race tomorrow, and we look forward to seeing you at the finish line.
Well, that is us. All the very best tomorrow. Behave. Look forward to welcoming you all home across the finish line. And again, if you do have any further questions, just go across and have a chat to the team. I'm in a red shirt. I'm an MC. I know nothing. Okay? Well, a little bit. My wife tells me I know nothing. Anyway, all the best.
Yeah.